To share it to my YouTube wall.
We live.
I think
we live, everybody.
Live.
Yeah. Welcome to another episode. You know what I'm saying? We bringing the podcast together. So you know what I'm saying? I got my boy Keys in here. We got the big dog Philly OG up in here, man. You know what I'm saying? Wealth is Gangster. We got the Nation1Luv podcast. You know, so we all coming together. What we're gonna be doing, jumping from podcast to podcast with the great conversations, but to just help build each other up. You know what I'm saying, on these platforms too. You know what I'm saying? Because that's one thing. As we talking about building a nation for today's conversation, part of the building a nation is having our own media, controlling the narrative of what our people are seeing and hearing in the media. So, you know, this is part of building a nation. We got to have our own media, you know. So it comes with the radio, comes with the TV, and that's what when I tell people about Wealth is Gangster. Wealth is Gangster is not just a podcast. Wealth is Gangster is actually a network that I'm building. So we got shows, we got reality shows coming next year. We got a few different things. So this is way bigger than just a normal podcast, you know. So the guys getting set up. Give us 1 second to get everything going, and then we're finna get this conversation going. Because y'all know I live this when we talking about building a nation. This is second nature to me on just the way, because this is my everyday move. This is what I think and move and do every day, you know. So I don't see a way to build wealth for me personally without in the context of building a nation. And I think that's the difference between me and a lot of people, because a lot of people are just after the bag, and that's cool. And we're going to have plenty of conversations about that. And I want people to, when I start hearing people say power bag, I want to make sure y'all salute me when y'all say that, because when nobody talking about having a power bag before me. And a power bag is us. We're going after the bag, but we're making sure we're in the mindset of accumulating power as we get money. We don't want to just get money and be another rich or a rich black person without no power. You know, that's powerless. They can get fired and all that at the same time. Because to me, it's still mind blowing that you can be worth millions of dollars and get fired. I'm definitely not worth millions of dollars, and I haven't been able to get fired in about 10 years now, you know. So just that mindset to me is just thrown off. But I want to salute everybody that's already in here. We're still getting it together. Got the big dog Philly OG about to hop in here, and we got my boy Keys in here. Everybody getting their stuff together behind the scenes. So I want y'all to come on in, and it's gonna be a continuous conversation. Like I say, you know, subscribe to the Wealth is Gangster podcast channel or the network, and subscribe to Nation1Luv podcast. And I gotta ask big dog Philly OG. I don't know if he got his own channel or he, you know, what we doing, but definitely if you see it, subscribe to all three of us, because we building a network. We building a family of black men that's just trying to get that message out there. You know, we outnumbered when it comes to the powerful messages and have fun. What they call it, YOLO. I think that's what the youngsters call it. You only live once, but I'm always thrown back by that, because if you only live once, you should be wanting to make sure that one experience is great. So I don't understand how you can just throw your life away because you only live once, per se. So yeah, I see you pop in for a minute, big dog.
Yes, sir. First of all, much respect to you and the family, brother, always. Yes. My brother Key, much respect to you and the family, always. Everybody in the chat, much respect. You know, like I said, I'm gonna enjoy this conversation. You know, I do have a channel. I have about close to 2,200 people that support me in the Flat Power community and also in the Aboriginal community. So I have a nice, consistent group of people that support me every time I go live. So yeah. Yes, and I'm gonna jump off and share it on my community wall, and we're gonna get this thing started, man. Because like I said, I love the topics.
Yes,
health
sir.
Is gangster is wealth. You know, health is wealth. Community building, nation building. Yeah. Beautiful thing. So I'm drop down, share it on my community wall, and I'm ready for the conversation, my brother. Always respect.
I'll bring you back. Okay, I'll bring you back up. Yes, sir. Nothing but respect.
Oh yeah, salute, man.
All right, salute. So he dropped down so he could do his thing, man. So when we talk about nation building, building wealth as a nation, just tell us the first things that come to your mind, Keith.
The first things that come to my mind is, having a floor of substance, to where we can focus on things that's substantial to our living, but not be dependent upon having to receive resources from the so-called government or powers that be. That's the first thing that come to my mind.
And why do you think, as a people, I got my reason, but I just want your perspective. As a people, why do you think it's so taboo? Because even now we have a lot of people on social media, right? Everybody talking about the bag, everybody talking about wealth, but we still not moving the needle when it comes to our community and us as a people. We done came up individually. We got more individual rich people. We got more individual millionaires and six-figure earners. So we doing good on the individual standpoint. You know what I'm saying? But as a whole, we still at the bottom. And I was telling them earlier about, I think part of it is the mindset of the bag, right? And we definitely need the bag because we got to get to the money to be able to do what we want to do. But I think we're missing the ball when we only focus on the money and we don't have a mindset around power with the bag. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I started telling people all I want to talk about is a powerful bag. Because if we just get in the bag and we lacking the power, we're still in the same spot because we can get fired, hired, counseled. You know what I'm saying? Like that's why we got so many black rich people. They're scared to say anything because they know, yeah, I got it, but I can lose it if I say anything that makes them mad. And to me, that's nothing that has nothing to do with power. If you got that type of mindset, you're powerless. You're just powerless person with
Right.
with the money. I think he back up. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So when we talking about the mindset that it takes to really build a nation, and we're teaching ourselves, right? Because that's one thing I always talk, especially when I talk to black men about. When we have our disagreements or we see different things or we don't see eye to eye, right? A lot of us that comes from not really having that structure, we fall out with each other. Forget them. We don't know how to work through these conflicts. We don't know how to work through disagreements. We don't know how to work and build nothing because we are first generations of people that's trying to build something. Our grandpa, like I ain't gonna say we're the first generation and a couple generations that's really thinking about building. Because our people were building. Fresh out of slavery, we had land ownership. We were talking about schools. We had, what I'm saying, we had the Black Wall Streets. We had all that. But ever since about 60, when they started killing our civil rights leaders and our leaders, I think our people went into reverse. And we just got, you know what, if we try to be powerful, if we try to be strong, they're going to kill us off. So let me just be thankful for a job. Let me be thankful that they're not killing me no more. Let me be thankful for these crumbs. And I bring that up because I always tell about my parent, my mom, right? My mom, she was a great mother. But the tools she gave me was the wrong tools for a black man trying to make it in America. And I think a lot of us a lot of us go through that. Like we had good parents and they gave us all the good information that they had, but the problem is the information that they had was just the wrong information when it comes to power and being successful. That's why they could only tell us get a job and go to school and hope the pros pick you up because after that they don't know nothing about how to build wealth or how to attain this, attain that, man. So I think it's starting off with mindset. I'm gonna kick it to OG. OG, when you're thinking about building a nation, where you think we started? What comes to your mind when you hear that phrase "building a nation," and where do you think we started?
Brother, I'm glad you asked me that question. Like I said, much love, much respect to everybody on the panel and the chat, man. Me, the enemy's public, and my brother Key Norfolk did we were doing a stream on divorcing the system. So basically, I feel like you have to divorce the system that you're in mentally because we seen this system isn't for the people. It's for the corporation. So my first start is you have to divorce this system. Don't give it no power. Don't give it no belief because that's what it's powered off of. You have to divorce the system that you're in. You know, this system that happened did nothing for the people. It only did for the corporation. So first we must divorce our belief system, everything that was taught to us, all the science, all the history. You have to divorce that and basically to start a new nation. And once you divorce that, then you can create your own nation, because we were taught that you couldn't build your own nation here in America, and that's a lie. You can build your own nation in America corporation.
Yeah.
You know,
who they think built America? Like who they think built that? You know what I'm saying? That's a conversation for another day. But
yes,
we didn't already built the nation. We just built it for somebody else.
Right. Exactly. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
You know, so the biggest thing is, like I said, divorcing the system that the nation that we're a part of. And like I said, I'm a disabled vet, so I served this country. I got hurt serving this country. You know, but I'm still willing to divorce uh, any bad relationship and create my own. So, you know, that's my answer. Much respect to everybody.
Yeah, no, appreciate you, and thank you for your service. And like we can do both. And I tell people a lot of things. Sometimes two things can both be right. You know what I'm saying? You can be against the way this country did our people and how this country was built up our backs and how they systemized, set up everything for us to fail, and still be thankful for our brothers that served this country. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm one of those, like right now I got something about Africa, right? But I identify as a foundational Black American. I'm not. I got distant cousins from Africa, but this is my land. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not one of those going back to Africa. Now, I go chop it over with my cousins over there, but this is mine. I ain't going nowhere. You know what I'm saying? So you know that's just something that I have to learn, because I was one of those, like, man, forget America. I don't. When you really learn the history of it, it wasn't no America till we got here. We didn't come here and it was already America. We came to a land and built up America. And I think a lot of us missed that we built this. We our ancestors got the blood in the soil and hung off these trees and died for this piece of land. And this is our new ethnic base. This is our foundation, you know. So, you know, so yeah, definitely we built the nation before. We just built it from a subservient position and didn't have no reins over what we built, you know. So we got it in our blood to build, but we just always building for them. Even like as a job, we got everybody family, man. We all got family members that if we came together, we can build a multi-million-dollar corporation. But everybody is scared to do that, so they go get what? All they $1 million worth of energy and skills and mindset and working power. They go give it to another company that gives them pennies on the dollar for their talent, you know. So you still building that. When people say, well, everybody can't run a business. Life is business. Yes, we all can. If you got to run your life, you can run some type of business. You might not have to be hands-on with it every day, but you be like, hey man, I don't want to run no business, kids. But you know what? I see your podcast, I see your vision. Let me be an investor. Let me add on to this. Can I be a part of your company if I can add on this value? So being a business person don't mean you got to run and do everything in business. That means you could be a part of it. You know what I'm saying?
That's what we miss.
Yeah,
that's what we miss, man. I want to take it back to the point that you made about, you know, our parents and, you know, them giving us the best information that they could at that possible time. Yeah. We got to understand that, you know, there's different perception points with everything. So at that time, we had already reached the defeated point. We was down the hill. But trying to come back up the hill doesn't mean that we stay in that vulnerable state, especially when we've had a time to gain rest and to gain more energy to be able to pull ourselves up. You know, I hate when people use that as an excuse, you know, and say that people failed us or this and that. You know, we got to understand too that, you know, we were already. We didn't even when the civil rights thing came, we wasn't begging to get into their schools because we wanted to go to school with them, or, you know, they sold us on an ideology. We was begging to integrate because we wanted to, instead of going to mama's kitchen up the street who's selling hamburgers. We wanted to go to McDonald's and get hamburgers instead of going to. We got those same historical black colleges and things. I'm from Pine Bluff, Arkansas. We got a historical black college, UAPB. It's been around for way back in times when people is saying that slavery was existing. So we wanted to integrate into the Ivy League schools, these people who had financial backing because it was built into the system of this corporation. The system is the veins, you know what I mean? The channel. So we start building into their channels, and that's why they have more strength than us. We was taken off of the because my family history, we had homesteads, we had land. But even back when people were saying that they was slaves and all that. Now our land, if we got 40 acres now, the way that the paperwork looked, it looked like we was getting beat on paper. So we was losing land as they go. We was selling our land to buy into a way of living. It's crazy that people would sell their land, which they can grow food on or build houses for their family and stuff like that. Sell that to get money to go to the city to work for a company and live in an apartment building and build a bank account up. So we gave the land and our resources up for the dollar. You see what I'm saying? And the ideology based on the American dream. But like Martin Luther King said, we integrated into a burning house. And now we're inside of this house that's ran by this system that we unhappy with. So now we sit here having conversations like we having today about building a nation. We got to understand that we was pencil whooped. We got beat on paper. We got reclassified, and we you know, we took the trick. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, and that's the mindset we got to have. We got to learn from the ancestors. You know what I'm saying? And that's a lot of us don't. We keep living the same thing over and over, and it's like I done seen this movie before. Why are we steady doing the same, giving the same answer to a movie that we just seen the movie, we know the answer, but we still keep giving the wrong answer? Why? You know what I'm saying? Like it's weird in a way. And I deal with this every day, man. And I deal with people, the community, kids, and then we fight to stay at the bottom. We fight for our position at the bottom. You know what I'm saying? Like, it don't matter about all the games somebody give you to get to the top. They will figure out like what Dr. Boyce always say. Every time I give you a solution, you find a problem. You find a problem with my solution, because we don't really want the solution, and that's why I had a meeting about, do we really want freedom, right? Because I don't think we really want freedom as a whole. You know, we got of course we got sections of our people that want freedom, because real freedom is building a nation. But as a whole, I don't think our people want freedom because they just want to be treated better. You know what I'm saying? Just treat me a little better, give me a little raise, just do a little bit better by me, and I'll be fine with that. But the building a nation, what I tell you for the conference, we having a build a nation conference next year. I need somebody to know about sewage plants. I need somebody to know about plumbing. I need somebody to know about concrete and knocking down buildings and building up skyscrapers. Like, so we be saying we want our own, but do we really want our own nation? Do we know what it takes to really build a nation, or really build your own city, or really have your own town? It takes a lot. And I think a lot of our people, because I get told all the time, you do too much. They might see me with my chickens at my thrift store, at my school. They see me in these different little spots, and they're like, man, you do a lot. That's too much. And that's because in our mind, we're just employees. So in our mind, all we do is go to work, come home, and relax. So somebody doing 3 or 4, 5, 6, 7 different things, oh, that's too much. And I tell people all the time, like, when I used to work 12-hour shifts, 14-hour shifts, I used to get saluted by everybody. Oh, man, you're a hardworking man. If I work 12 hours for myself in my school or my thrift store, people, they say I'm crazy. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, right. They don't salute me the same way as they did when I was working for the system, those same 12 hours, because they devalue me. Even though I'm putting in more hours working for myself, they don't value that the same way as if I had a job. You know what I'm saying?
It's not the social norm, bro.
Yeah.
It's not politically correct, because it's going away from the system. We got to understand, no matter which way we look at it, We're in a spiritual war, which is a spiral. We trying to go this way, but we in a system that's taking us this way. This is why we can never be satisfied with it. It's the accountability level that will come with building a nation. We won't have time to shuck and jive and mess around all day, and have time for our entertainments, the TV, this music, all these different things that we have the spare time to do, because really we the minor. It's like we being babysitted. And like you said, all people want to do is just be treated better, rather than saying, let me take control. Let me be in control of what I eat. Let me be in control of the way I'm protected. Let me be in control of the way my household's ran. But that's our number one problem. What you said, man, it's the accountability. And, we got to be able to shake off the hurt in the dirt from the past and be able to stand up fresh, with a new mindset and a new day, so we can make this thing happen, man.
Yeah, and we gotta really do it, especially when I talk to black men. I say we can't just talk a good game, right? Like if I talk about what we need to do, I need to be able to show my thrift store. I need to be able to show my eggs. I need to be able to show my barbecues. I need to be able to show a building. This is my school. Like if we just talking, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Talking is good to start it off. But if you still talking 6 months later, a year later, 2 years later, and you ain't putting no action with the talking, then that's when talking is a problem. There's nothing wrong with talking, because like I say, we have to talk so we can throw out the ideas and the concepts and all that. But once we do that, once we have that conversation, it's action time. We gotta follow conversation with some type of action. And of course, we can't just do everything we want to do because we limited in the resources area. But we can start doing something on what we're talking about every day. And if everybody had that mindset, our people will be in a great spot. OG, tell us what you're feeling about the conversation. Give us some input on what you're hearing.
Yeah, I started blending my smoothie. Give me a second.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. Go ahead, get that smoothie right, man.
Yeah.
We need that, man. But even in that, like even I was telling guys about the why it's important to feed ourselves, right? Because we could be eating the fruits and all that, and they still poisoning our fruit now, right? You know what I'm saying? They don't have nobody in the fields hand picking the weeds. They just spray over the whole field. They don't care where they go into. Right. So we have to control that. And I was telling you yesterday, or was it yesterday? I think yesterday.
Yeah.
When I was like, we gotta own the whole distribution line, bro. From the it's cool. Like you got your hoodie on, right? And that's great. That's your hoodie. But what if you own the cotton field that made that hoodie? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's what I tell people. We need to own the cotton. Then we need to own the manufacturing building that the cotton get delivered to. Then when that building turns it into a sweater or a hoodie, we need to own the truck that backs up and loads it up. Then you know what I'm saying? Then we got somebody that's from our hue driving the truck to the storefront, and now we got our store. So we own the whole distribution line. And the same with the food. We need to own from the time it's the chicken, from the time it's in the ground, all the way to it hit our plate. We need to own that whole distribution. That's power. That's too much work, because all we want to do is wake up and go to HEB. And I'm a victim of that, bro, because I used to say HEB, baby. I used to laugh when people talk about having chickens in their backyard. And I'm like, man, you crazy. I'm an HEB, baby. I want mine already packaged and everything. And older I get, I had started realizing that just sounds crazy. I was programmed. And that's the thing about it. When we calling out this, I'm talking about me. I'm not pointing fingers at nobody. I was programmed just like that. You know what I'm saying? And I'm still working through things. I haven't watched TV in 3-4 years. I haven't ate fast food in over 10 years. I haven't drunk a soda in about 14 years. I've been breaking myself down slowly from all the stuff that I was programmed to love and enjoy, because at the end, what? I hate hospitals. So why would I feed myself stuff that's going to have me somewhere I hate to be? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, we got to think about all this, man. We at war, and I brought this up yesterday. I said we at war from the time we wake up, right? From the time we wake up, we at war. We wake up and we go hit our face with some water that got all kind of chlorine and all kind of stuff in it, right? Then we brush our teeth that got fluoride in it. So before us waking up, we already losing the battle at life. We already losing this war that this country is throwing at us from the time we wake up.
Right.
And that's what we got to fight about. So I can't do the water thing yet, but what I can do is, okay, yeah, I got the cold toothpaste from black people that's more natural. I got deodorant from a black man that's natural. I don't got to worry about all that. So that's what I mean about, no, we can't do it all at once, but we can start taking steps. Taking steps to becoming more independent. And if we doing that, if we got 1,000 people thinking and moving like we thinking and moving, we just became more stronger. Even if we ain't got all the money yet, we got to start where we at and build.
It's gonna take its time, man, because you know, people get discouraged and look at the way we live in the way that they want to live, and they like, we ain't gonna never get there. But when we doing as much as we can to get there, and we start seeing the progress, and we make it further down the street to get to where we trying to go, we say, man, it ain't that much further now, man. We almost there. You know, we got to have that type of spirit when it comes with it. And the point you made about the talking, man, that's so real what you said. A lot of people don't even want to have the conversation. We have to have the conversation. And so what I try to do is keep in mind that everything isn't for everybody, and just have a good intention. Even like you at your school right now, I have yet to let people know that, hey, my school will be open in January 1st. I ain't letting nobody know that. Why? Because it's above their understanding. I'm still right here with them. You see what I'm saying? With my people that I deal with, like you said, a lot of times people want to see stuff. So you got to be able to show. You see what I'm saying? So, but we got to get out of there too as a people, because now they can make fake shit and fake stuff in real time. You understand what I'm saying? With all this technology and stuff they got. So that now fake stuff is real now, because they manipulating the energy. So we have to have a better and a more humble mindset, and we have to be more aware. A lot of people not even aware that we under attack from the time we wake up. Even while we sleep, we under attack. We under attack 24 hours a day. You know, like I was telling OG yesterday, you know, because it was Veterans Day, I wanted to let people know the enemy is us. They let us know this during the pandemic. Any military-minded personnel, ex or present, knows that you quarantine the source, the enemy, the source of the enemy, or the source of the problem. So we should have knew that when they quarantined everybody. You know what I mean? So this is a systematic approach that's being taken upon us, and it's only for control. You know, if they look at us as cattle, they're going to keep control of their merchandise.
Got to.
You see what I'm saying? They got to, man. It's a business, man. We in a corporation. We got to understand that.
Yeah, it's nothing personal. It's all business.
That's it.
And we have to operate like that. And that's what I really, even when I was telling you about some of the shows on the new podcast show, when I got the Black Family Kitchen Table Talk, I'm here to start conversations that's uncomfortable, because that's the only way we get to the next level, right? If we just sit here and talk about what's comfortable to each other, how we really gonna move the needle? If I'm only gonna say what make everybody comfortable, we not gonna make no change. And I told you this yesterday, like, I would be more popular where I'm at, because Temple is a smaller town. So Temple is still old school, work, go to church, right?
Right.
That's a failing system for our people. So I could shut up about that and be more cool and popular with all the church people and the preachers, and I probably would get more funding, and you know what I'm saying, and just bite my tongue and be quiet. Or I can go out the real impact, and I can be like, nah, I love y'all, but y'all need to hear this too. You know what I'm saying? Just like when we talk, I told you yesterday, we quick to point our finger. We quick to point our finger at the guys on the street corner. Y'all need to stop doing this. Y'all need to stop doing that. Black on black crime. Y'all killing each other. All that, right? And all that's true. We need to work on all that, right? So why we don't have the same conversation with the grandmas, the grandpas, the aunties, grandma? You know what killed more than us than anything? What you feed us. You talking about them kids out there shooting each other? You need to start feeding us more healthier food, grandma. Oh, don't nobody want to say that because that's disrespectful to grandma. Oh no, we got to have real conversations need to be had, and it don't matter. It shouldn't matter about if you get upset about it, because I tell people all the time, I can't change. If you get upset about what I say, I can't change that. If I'm lying, call me out on it, and I'll be the first one to say, my bad, that was a lie.
If you don't get uncomfortable, you ain't gonna never get up and move. Yeah. The more comfortable you stay there, the longer you're gonna stay there. And what you said about them preachers, my bad, OG. What you said about them preachers, they worse than the guy on the corner, because there's more people hooked on hope than it is dope. Yeah. Because the police ain't messing with him. But see what I'm saying? He got more people hooked on hope than it is people hooked on dope. So who's the bigger threat to the people? My bad, OG, you got it.
No, you good. Like I said, I'm loving the conversation. I always say this, brother. Not all of us is going to make it, man. Only the strong is going to survive. A lot of our people going to die believing in this system and staying in this system because they're indoctrinated in this system. They don't have the mindset to even start building their own nation because they're addicted to the system, or they're, dependent on the system. You know what I mean? It's a conversation we need to have. Like on YouTube, it's plenty. Shout out to Sister Betty. She's building her own nation. They bought land in 3 or 4 different states. So we got blueprints out here. It's just, do the people have the mindset to implement it? I retired when I was 34 years old, working for the post office. Prior to that, I was, like I said, military. I've been building my own nation for my family. So when I'm gone, my wife won't have to work. She can run her businesses. My daughter have her business. So I've been building my nation for my family. And I have reached out to my hand to people on the social media. Let's do this. I'm willing to put up some of my finances to start doing it. You know what I mean? Let's build our own nation. But like I said, our people mindset is, so scary. They're gonna come in, you still gonna have to pay taxes. They can come in and take your man, stop being all scary, man. I'm fighting for mine. So I love what we doing, brother. We need, like you said, we need our own everything, our own hospitals, our own doctors, our own. I homeschool my daughter. I have a 7-year-old. I refuse to send her to any of their schools.
Absolutely.
And I'm in the backwoods of Georgia. You see what I'm saying? I left Philadelphia 8 years ago. It'll be 8 years in May, and I moved to the backwoods of Georgia. And basically, I came back to my family roots. My family has 150 acres that they have owned since the 1700s. I'm on 6 acres myself, trying to expand and grow. You know what I mean? So I'm willing to reach out as much as I can for my people because I love my people. And this is the mindset we need to have, building our own.
Yeah.
And I land right there.
And even if you really, because I deal with some people that they ain't into all that. All they into is the biggest bag they can get. And those people are still valuable. You know what I'm saying? So it's not about because we.
Yes, sir. What you willing to invest?
Yeah, I want us to realize.
Nation. Yes, sir.
Because a lot of us, we try to be like, okay, if everybody not rocking the way we rocking, forget them, and that's how we cut off a lot of us. You know what I'm saying? That's how we cut off a lot of our. We cut off a lot of our people that we could build with because we want everybody to be the way we want them to be. And I tell people all the time, man, even if we disagree on 70%, OG, I say, well, let's build on the 30% that we do agree on. Let's quit trying to find a reason not to build. Let's quit trying to find a reason not to build. Let's find a reason to build. You know what I'm saying? Right. That's what can we do? What can we do together? Don't tell me what we can't do. I get that. You told me what you don't like. Tell me what you do like and how can we build on what you do like?
Because even though we disagree on some things, we both still drinking the same water. We both still eating the same food. We getting poisoned through the toothpaste, the deodorant. We all got to pay bills, taxes. So that means that we have a common enemy. So if our enemy's attacking us, why will we stop in the middle of the battle and fight each other and we both being attacked? We got to understand these things. People understand, but they don't understand and overstand these type of things. You see what I'm saying? So having these type of high level conversations like this, actually showing the people. And you've been doing the same since I met you, man. I met this brother. I was in the street trying to, not in the street in a bad way. I was in the streets reaching out, doing outreach to the community. And I met this brother and he's been doing the same. So I know it's genuine. It's not just something for show. We have a common mind, a common mindset, and so we need more black men like this. Everything ain't cool. Everything ain't about jewelry and money and cars and women. That stuff is a detriment to our community right now. We need black men who having these type of conversations about building the nation. What's going to make us stronger, what's going to put us in a position to where we can start obtaining more things of substance, because that's what wealth is. What's going to be substantial to you and your family. And you know what I mean? So this whole thing that we doing, it got to be who you are. We can't be unbalanced when it comes to a thing like this, because as we can see, man, we got a lot of work to do, because the majority of our people think like what you saying, man. They want to chase the bag. And we got a lot of people in the church, and even they chasing the bag because they getting prosperity pimping through on them. So even though they going to church getting the word and giving their money, he telling them God finna bless them with something. So they gambling. They put money in a collection plate, waiting to hit the lotto, the spiritual lotto. You feel what I'm saying? So I'm tracking with you, bro, 100%.
Yeah, and it's the habits that we built up, man. I talk to people all the time that swear they're struggling, but every time I talk to them, they're wasting money on just crazy stuff, man. I'm like, it's mind blowing that people that swear they're poor always got money for the dumbest stuff. I'm talking about the dumbest. Like me personally, I'm not poor. I'm definitely not super rich, but I'm not poor. But I only got money for what I need. I'm not gonna just go be randomly just buying stuff like, because I value this dollar and I know that this dollar is a tool. And if after the bills or whatever you got to do that you got to do, everything else you need to be trying to figure out how to make this dollar grow some kind of way. And if I can't make it grow, I need to at least make it last. I need to do something because I understand the situation I'm in. Like right now, the way I talk slashes my funding, slashes, and I'm talking about kills it. So, and that's where a lot of our people be in the position is, do you want to stand on principles and stand on truth, or will you say what everybody wants you to say just so you'll get more money funded? And that's a situation that a lot of us in. And I have chose to just, I'm gonna down this rock, just living my truth. If I get starved out, if I don't get supported, if I don't get none of that, cool, I'll figure out a way. And that's why I tell my team we have to be creative, because we're not going to get the same funding. I was just telling this story to one of my mentors a couple of weeks ago. I was like, for my summer camp, I had some kids, it was $300 for a kid for 3 weeks. That's dirt cheap. That's $100 a kid. I'm talking about I'm feeding them breakfast, lunch, and I got them from 8 in the morning to 4 or 5 in the evening. That's dirt cheap, $100 a week, all week long, And I still had parents that told me they couldn't afford it. So I let some kids come for free, right? And it's a couple parents just use me. A couple parents really need the help. A couple parents use me. But I wasn't worried about that, because I understand if I just focus on the impact, the income will come. So I'm not focused on that, but I do watch and see who's taking advantage of the situation. And it's the same ladies that tell me that they couldn't afford $300, $200, just something on it, was the same person I seen for a birthday weekend renting out a Rolls Royce. And I know they got to be $800 to $1,000 for one day. I know it got to be at least. I ain't never rented out no Rolls Royce, my G, but I know it got to be somewhere. It got to be somewhere around, with insurance too. It got to be somewhere around $700, $800, $1,000 a night. Got to be.
Yeah, that's more expensive than renting a limo, man. It's crazy, bro. That's wild, because, especially when you're doing this type of work, man. It's important that we link with like-minded individuals and we kind of weed out, take that process of elimination like you just spoke on, so that we're able to be able to see who with us, who taking advantage of the resources, you know, who's actually trying to help push this thing forward. That's what we need as a people. You know, I'm not throwing away the other mindsets. We have to come back for them later. We got to get over who on the front line first, and then we'll develop a way to come back over and get with those people later. Because a lot of time, man, like you said, man, she was holding up resources for somebody else who could have been there. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah. And that's, and like I say, I do this work for the kids, so I've been doing it for free for 2 decades. So I don't really trip off every dollar, but I do watch, and I'm like, dang, this is crazy. So you really got somebody in the community that's trying their best, and you can't come up with nothing for them, but you can go get a rental car company that much money. You know what I'm saying? Like I focus on, because I don't get into the individual people. I get into the mindset of how, as a parent, you can feel like, how as a parent, how could I tell somebody I can't afford your summer camp and then go spend $1,000 on a rental? I don't have that mindset, so I'm trying to figure out how does that connect? Like somebody that got your kids in their hands 5 days a week for 3 weeks. I would want to like give something, just like, man, that's an important value. That's important. You got an important piece of my life in your hands every day.
Right. That's the most important thing going on right now. Ain't nothing else more important than that.
You got that, and you in there trying to mold their brains and teach them and feed them. You trying to do all this stuff for my kid, and I can't come up with nothing to add to that. What?
But you know what, bro?
That's a different type of mindset, bro.
You know what? That's just like people would rather their friends see when the person look like you. Most people mindset is they supposed to get this to me. They supposed to do this for nothing. But then, you know, you selling your hoodie. You got your hoodie, CEO Youth League. People see my hoodie. They don't want to pay us $40 for our hoodie, but they'll go pay $120 for a Gucci hoodie, $500 for a Gucci sweater.
$120 for just a Nike symbol. That's just the one little Nike symbol get $120.
Right. You know what I'm saying? So you know, it's kind of crazy. We have to start, like you said, we had another conversation we had. We got to make this type of thing cool to the kids. And that's why I value your work and your organization just as well as mine. I look at yours like mine, and I protect it just like mine, because I know that it's coming from the heart, man, and it's got good purpose with it. And we need people who look like us, so the children see us. They see you with a mouth full of goals, or they see me with the jewelry or this or that, you know, dealing with artists and all this type of stuff. And they say, well, wait, he don't do none of that. He in the community helping people. He ain't selling drugs or this. Let me figure out what he want to do. And then what your student told you, you their favorite teacher. And you see what I'm saying?
I ain't even no teacher, but it was just the principle of, you are my teacher because I'm with you every day, 5 days a week. So they look at me as a teacher. You know, they don't understand about the degrees and the teacher degree. They don't know nothing about that. They know this is a person that pours into me every day. This is a person that feeds me and protects me every day. So that's my teacher. You know, and that's one thing I love about kids. Kids just be honest. Even if it hurts your feelings, they don't know. They just being real from what they see. You know, because kids sometimes hurt your feelings too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know? But it all go together, and I know they probably feeling like, oh man, they talking about a lot of different subjects when they supposed to be talking about building a nation. No, that's the point. Building a nation is a lot of different moving things. You can't just focus on one thing. And it's great that we got people, like I say, I want the person that all they focus on is gardening. I want the person that all they focus on is chickens. I want the person that all they focus on is sewage and they know how to run pipes from your house. I want everybody that's great in their individual thing, but me as a visionary, I have to think about all of them. You know what I'm saying? And that's why it's important that everybody know what their gifts is. Don't try to overstand your gifts. If you know that you're just a man, hey, I had a guy, we was talking about buying some land, and he was like, man, I ain't got no money on it. So I don't add no value to it. I said, how you don't add value when we talk about buying it, but soon we buy it, we need a construction. You have a construction company. That's your value. You know what I'm saying? Like we need you just as bad as we need the land. Because if we get the land and don't got you, we still ain't got nothing. You know what I'm saying? So we have to realize that our gifts and our talents that we do bring is a big asset. You know what I'm saying? And I don't care if you just peace, family. I don't care if you just if all you do is podcasting. Okay, we need the media. I don't care if all you do is plumbing. We need the plumbing. You know, like the house of resources. I tell people all the time, I got a Rolodex that I'm building up. So when people come here, I want to be able to say, oh man, I need somebody to cut my yard. Okay, I got this brother in my Rolodex. Oh, you need an electrician. Okay, let me call my partner from the this electrician. You know, like the house of resources is actually a place that we build, educate, and congregate at. But I want this to be a real pantry. It's a family in need. They need food. Come on, I got canned goods here. You know what I'm saying? You need a plumber, I got my boy on speed dial. You need an electrician, I got my boy on speed dial. You know, like whatever you need, you should be able to come here and get from us. And if I can't do it for you personally, I got somebody on the team that I can call up and say, hey, I'm going to pass you on to this. You know what I'm saying? So that's how we build it. That's how we really build. That's how this becomes a staple in our community. And that's why we're trying to really build this foundation right for the House of Resources, because this is going to be a franchise. We're going to have this in every city and every state. We're going to have a House of Resources in all our communities, in every community. And that's why it's so important that we get this right, because this is going to be the foundation of how every other one runs. From the education, from the giving back to the communities, the community activities, the schooling, everything that we doing here is going to be reduplicated everywhere we send these to.
It's like you mentioned the podcast, and man, we have these type of conversations all the time, you know, on the podcast, on YouTube. But, you know, we got to find a way to place, because we've been doing this behind the scenes. Shout out to the WU organization. Shout out to Overcome Cancer Corporation. Shout out to the CEO Youth League. All the people that we've been network connected with. We've been doing things for each other, working behind the scenes for a few years now. We could find a way, like what we're doing right now, to bring this and present it to the people on YouTube. You know, these are the type of things that we're supposed to be sowing seed into, man, so we can develop this tree. That'll be our tree of life. That'll make us more stronger. So we'll have a branch to reach out or hold on to if we sinking. So this is a very valuable high-level conversation. Shout out to Blue, man. I see you out there in the chat. Shout out to everybody, man. I appreciate y'all for coming over. Please like, share, and subscribe to Wealth is Gangster, man. Much love and respect.
Yeah, come on in. Like I said, we building up all this, so we're gonna be bouncing back and forth from the different channels, bringing awareness to each one, all three of our channels. Because at the same time, like I tell people all the time, we're not in competition, because we have to. Once you know who the real enemy and who is against all of us, we could never be in competition. You know what I'm saying? Like I tell people that all the time, like, even if we don't see eye to eye, you still not my enemy, because I understand who the real enemy is. You know what I'm saying? So if we don't see eye to eye and we just can't get it right, hey, I love you from a distance.
Big facts, brother. I just said that the other day.
Yeah.
Not to mean to cut you off.
Nah, you good. We waiting on your input, OG. We waiting on you.
Yeah, when the brother Dark Chameleon passed away, you know, me and him got into it, but I know who my enemy is. Nobody on YouTube is my enemy. Yeah. Just because of what you said, I know who my enemy is. So much respect to everybody in the chat. Yeah, I've been paying attention. That's one thing. When I'm on someone else's podcast, I try not to pay attention. You know, sometimes the chat can be triggering. But I love the conversation. I love what we're doing, and we need this conversation. So let's go.
Yeah, and what I talk about, I always leave with respect. I don't really run no channel here. I'm not here to disrespect nobody. I know sometimes when you give a different point of view, some people will take it as disrespect. But I was always told that the truth should never be looked at as disrespect. So even if I tell you something that's truthful, like I say, if I say you're a lie, call me out on it, and I'll be the first one to check myself, because one thing about me is I live with truth. I stand with truth. I could have been thinking a belief my whole life, right, Key? And you come and give me some truth. I get away from that. I get away from something I believe my whole life, because I'm always a rider for truth. And that's a problem with a lot of our people, is even when a lot of our people so programmed that if I tell you the truth, you're gonna tell me that my truth is an opinion and your opinion is the truth. That's how programmed we really be. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? That's how we really be, man. We'll fight for something that's false just because that's what we always believe. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I want us to realize, just let's stand with truth. Let's speak truth to power. Let's do this for the ancestors. I had one guy, he got a little upset with me because I'm always shouting out the ancestors, you know, and I'm a believer of a higher power, but I'm definitely not religious. And I just don't subscribe to a lot of things that, like, a lot of us subscribe to. But I respect everybody. Like I said, my point of view ain't to dim your point of view. And if you tell me that, hey man, I'm a man of God, and I go to church 10 times a week, I'm gonna be like, man, salute you. Whatever makes you a better person, I salute you. So I don't get into the who's right, who's wrong, because I tell people all the time, we tend to get into a lot of penitentiary conversations, right? And I say that, and I say that meaning that on Facebook and in person on YouTube, all this stuff we debating. I'm smarter than you, you dumber than me. I read more books than you, right? And sometimes somebody might be actually dumber or smarter than you. I don't know. But my point is, even if you're smarter than me and you think you got it set, you got it made because you read more books than me, we still in the same prison. See, I'm after power, bro. I'm not after who I look better than or sound better than or who I'm richer than, or I'm not here for none of that. I'm here for real power. Like, let's find the keys, no pun intended. Let's find the keys to get out this prison system that we locked in, mentally and physically. That's all I'm here for. I'm not here for saying, oh, I'm smarter than both of you brothers, or I got it all set and y'all need to learn from me. No, I'm here to learn from y'all. I'm here to get some game from y'all. I'm here to, maybe I had a point of view, and when I put it out there to y'all told me something back that made me sharpen my point of view. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm here for all that because I'm only here for the win. I'm not here for no ego, because in 100 years, ain't nobody gonna care about our egos, who we was laying down with. They ain't gonna care about none of that. They gonna care about the impact that we actually put in. And that's what I'm here for, because what saddens me is the most, and the reason why I only stay focused on impact, because I listen to nothing but a lot of Malcolm X videos, right? And Malcolm X been dead, what, 50, 60 years, 50 years now, over 50 years?
Yeah.
And I swear, I listen to something from him every day that sounds like he's alive right now. That's sad to me, bro. That means even though we didn't, quote unquote, have progress, we ain't had that much. How could a man been dead that long? I'm listening to old clips that he talked about back then about the problems and the situations, and we still have those same problems and situations. So we ain't came as far as we think we came, bro.
I think we actually in a worse place, because like what I explained earlier, a lot of our people had land and stuff, but we was not knowledgeable of what to do with it. So a person to sell you their land right now for a bag of money, but then when they get that money, they're gonna be lacking. Have to get the resources that they could have produced themselves on that land that they had. So that's why I go back to another point that was made earlier. We want to get rid of the responsibility, and that what makes us a minor. That makes us a minority. That makes us the child in the situation, because we're giving someone else authority over us. We're trusting in they're gonna feed us. We're trusting in they're gonna protect us. And then when the system fails to feed, protect, or nourish to keep us healthy, then we want to sit around and complain about it. But what are we doing to have a more substantial way of living ourselves? You feel what I'm saying?
And that's what we have to attack, the real situations, man. So, like I say, I want to, we're going to talk about these things in the next episode. I'm going to be actually bringing up some stuff. But like I would tell you, my pillars of building a nation we got to be able to feed ourselves, house ourselves, clothe ourselves, educate ourselves, employ ourselves, and then protect it. So protection part, I have Shield of Valor. That's an executive protection company that was started by 3 veterans that I came along to help build out the business concept of it, right? So that's what we're working on. And then we talk about the growing. We talk about all these different things that's going on. So we have to have action behind it. It's not just the talking points. It's talking in action. It's talking in action. So when you talk about, okay, let's just say feeding ourselves. How can we start feeding ourselves right now, even if you're in the projects in the little apartment building? Because I want people to start working. I don't want people to always look for a reason not to be able to do it. And I always tell people, like even in my book, The Streets Lie to Us, when I tell the youth, I always say, I used to say I'm a product of my environment, but now I want our kids to be like, I'm gonna turn your environment to a product of you. You know what I'm saying? So even if you're in the hood, let me show you how to think different, and you're not gonna be closed off in your mental. You know what I'm saying? So because you could be in the hood and your brain could be worldwide thinking huge, or you could be in Beverly Hills and your brain could be thinking hood. So it don't matter where you at. Sometimes your mind can take you out of those situations. So give us talk to the points of that feeding ourselves, housing ourselves, clothing ourselves. As we get ready to wrap this up. But I want to hear something from you and OG about the things, the steps we can take on feeding ourselves and housing ourselves and clothing ourselves and on and on.
I think that land is important. And like you say, man, we got people who are talented in all different types of areas. We got truck drivers, we got electricians, plumbers, we got war veterans. We have seamstress. I grew up with my grandmother sewing and making clothes my whole life. So I just recently started to think about like what you were saying. I live on a farm. It's cotton right behind my house right now. You know what I mean? So to be able to close the gap on putting ourselves in the further seat to be able to produce these things ourselves, that would be my mindset. You feel what I'm saying? Definitely a high level conversation. We can hear from OG Philly, man. You already know. Salute.
Yeah, brother. I think it's very important that we learn how to do those things or provide those services to the people. You know, for that way they'll have an outlet. You know, and I encourage it. Like I said, I got this brother that's growing, and he's teaching people how to grow. Planners Grow TV. You know what I mean? He comes by my platform, and I encourage my people to learn about growing, even if it's a plant in a house. But I know several people that grow their own vegetables. Like I said, I'm in the backwoods of Georgia.
Yeah.
It's a goal for me in 2024. But yeah, I think it's important to clothe ourselves, stop buying these, designer clothes and all that other good stuff, and start making and producing our own.
And it's not as hard as we think. Like in March, I'll be planting my first cotton field. So it say I'll get my first stock will be done in, I think, August. You know what I'm saying? So that's gonna be, and the guy told me, said all you need is a 10 by 10 to be looked at as a distribution. I think we got about 15, about 30. So it's not big, it's not huge by no stretch of imagination, but we starting where we at. You see what I'm saying? You see how they go? Like the chickens, I didn't have all that land for chickens. I started where I was at and built it out. My grandma stayed in the backwoods in the country in Texas, and I started with the back part of her backyard. And we start, so we have to start where we at and quit looking for the excuses on why we can't do it and find a reason why we can. Because most people be like, man, you ain't got enough room for no cotton field. Yeah, I do. The dude told me 10 by 10. I got 15 by 30. I got double or triple what he told me I need. You know what I'm saying? So that's gonna be my first experiment, like with the bees and all that. I'm learning about that. My first stock of bees died just like my first stock of chickens died. Second stock been producing good eggs for the last couple of years, and then my second stock of bees about to get ready to start putting out honey. I'm learning on the job, and that's what I mean about some of this stuff gonna be trial and error. We can't be scared to fail while we learn about trying to figure out this type of stuff. I never grew up wanting to know nothing about plumbing, nothing about sewage, none of that. But if I want to build a nation, I have to know some of it as I get around people that's masters of it. You know what I mean? Because we don't have to master all these things. All we need to do is get around the right people that's they experts. But even though we hanging around experts, I do need to know at least of what they do. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
That's how you build building a nation, is you getting all these different talents coming together to build up that. I don't have to know everything and do everything. Building a nation means I can hit my boy Keys up, I can hit OG up, I can hit different people up that all got their different skills and talents that comes together and builds up our nation.
Same thing, man. I've been going through trial and error with trying to turn my old swimming pool hole into the fish farm.
Yeah,
like, how you gonna do that right there? You need it. No, this is my experiment. I'm going through trial and error. When I'm able to get 4, 5, 10 acres where I can put a lake on it or something like that, then I'll do that. But you know, we have to start with what we got, and that will give us the knowledge to be able to progress and go further. But we got to reach a point, man. Man, I'm loving the conversation. I know we got to get out of here, man. I want to thank both of you brothers too on the panel, man, for the conversation. I think it's very much needed. Man, make sure y'all subscribe to Wealth is Gangster if you haven't. Subscribe to the Big Dog Philly OG. And salute to everybody, man. Much love and respect. Peace and power. Y'all already know.
Nah, for sure, man. So, OG, you got anything to say as we get ready to wrap this episode up? I definitely want to I'll get with you off camera, Keys, and we'll figure out the next day that we can all come together and figure out the next one. We'll be on one of y'all channels, you know, whatever. So the next one, we're going to be throwing it down. We just keep throwing the information and the conversations to each other channels, man. OG, you got anything to end this up with?
Yeah, much love and respect to y'all brothers. It was a pleasure doing this. I'm looking forward to doing it again in the future. You know, I mentioned something about Dark Chameleon because he was a brother in the community. You know, basically we didn't agree on everything, but basically, you know, he passed away. May he rest in peace. You know what I mean? And I did a stream. You know, once I found out, because like I said, I love all my people. I know who my enemy is, and he wasn't my enemy, and I was just letting people know that he had passed on. May he rest in peace. You know, I seen Brother Blue in the chat ask me that, you know, but like I said, I love doing it. I mean, I'm looking forward to the next stream when either Key channel, my channel, it don't matter. Just holler at me, brother. And like I said, I love what you're doing. We need to have this conversation for the people, and I'm in there. Much respect to everybody.
Yeah, love and respect. Yeah, and that's why I was telling Keys yesterday. We're gonna keep this going. So we'll get together out camera, see the next day, and we're just gonna continue to pound this conversation, man, until it's a normal conversation. We're gonna be the ones that really make building a nation a normal conversation. Well, I ain't gonna say the ones that make it, because you know, I gotta salute, you know what I'm saying, a lot of people that I learned from when it comes to building a nation, and I can't act like I didn't learn the steps of what I'm taking from the Nation of Islam. You know what I'm saying? And like I say, once again, I'm not into all the religions and everything. I'm into the principles of what people do and stand for. That's it. You know, I don't get into all the politics of the woo, woo, woo. That ain't none of my business. My business is, no matter how you feel about that group, for the last 60, 70 years, nobody black can go against what they've done tangibly, where you can see schools, you can see thousands of acres, you can see fish farms, you know what I'm saying? So no matter how you feel about whatever personally, I stick to the tangible, real things that you can see. You know what I'm saying? So I got to salute, you know, the nation, because I get a lot of my mindset of building as one from, you know what I'm saying, from studying a lot of them, you know, because that's all I do is study the wealth, and I study the ancestors, man. So Keys, you got anything you want to say on the way out, man, as we wrap this up?
Nah, man, great build. So, like I said, salutes to everybody, man. Always love and respect. Peace and power, man. Till next time, salute.
Till next time, y'all stay tuned, man. Next time, man. Make sure you subscribe to the Wealth is Gangster channel. Make sure you subscribe to Nation1Luv podcast channel. And OG, say yours one more time, OG, because I got to go subscribe. I think I subscribed to you last time, though, but I'm going to make sure.
Big Dog Philly OG.
Big Dog Philly OG, you know what I'm saying? So make sure you
Appreciate
subscribe to these
brother.
3 channels, and we're going to be having a lot of this content coming at y'all in the next few weeks and months ahead. Love everyone that tapped in. We'll see y'all soon.